Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of the PowerDrift podcast. We are back in normal studio-based format after
Where was
being.
that? The last one wasn't studio based?
No, that the last one was when Varun went and did like some interview with
Okay.
somebody.
Nakagami.
Okay. I have no idea who that is. I don't watch MotoGP. But today is a motorsport experiences podcast. We're going to talk about what we've had. She's had a lot, of course. We've had a couple of them as well. So we're going to talk about that because these two have just come fresh off the MotoGP weekend, which was 3 days ago. 3 days ago.
3 days ago, yeah.
It was on Sunday.
So I think we should just jump straight into it. How was it?
Amazing. Mind blowing. You know what? Actually, I want to jump and ask you, what was your favorite moment from MotoGP? The one which we attended.
This was the first time I've ever seen a MotoGP race. It was also the first weekend where I've not watched Formula One and I've seen MotoGP. But my favorite experience was just getting that close. Like on the BIC, you can go on the service road with service road passes that we had. You can go right to the. I don't know how this is safe, okay, and it is supposedly safe, but basically on the parabola there's a barrier. The guys are taking it. The apex is literally like as far as Ananya is from me, and you can just see these guys just right there. That was like the coolest thing for me.
Dude, they were flying. Like, they were just zooming by so fast, you couldn't even tell who it was. It was that good.
So that's my favorite spot on the BIC, by the way, to watch
Yeah, it's too
driving.
good. But for driving, it must be further away, no? Because they are.
Also, you can walk that 100-meter stretch, and you can see that the chicane on the left side, and then you can see the exit to the parabola on the right
So-
side. So that stretch, that sort of complex is like the best place to actually stand and watch. Actually,
That chicane, when the race starts, no, on the bike, of course it's different on cars, but on the bikes, it's like the riders behind are still taking the right. Someone in the middle is transitioning from the right to the left, and the guys in the front are
Yeah.
taking that left. It's like hypnotic. It's
like
too good.
Everybody's heads pop up and then
Yeah.
go down together. It's like a rhythm and it's really good.
And even the riders, they really, really like the racetrack, which I was. They were a little skeptical about a few corners in terms of the barriers being too close, but they still went ahead with it, and they really liked the racetrack.
that's actually very funny because even when Formula One was here, the one thing that the Formula One drivers always used to say is, as a technical track, BIC is phenomenal. It's got some very, very, very good turn complexes. I didn't see the race because I couldn't be bothered, to be honest. I mean, I might get hate from 10 people on the internet, but I just don't watch MotoGP. It's just not my cup of tea. But the one thing that I did notice in all the videos that were coming through is that there were not a lot of people there.
So it was about 58,000 people attended, I think, on Sunday or across the weekend. It can't be across the weekend. It has to be Sunday, 58,000, which is not a lot.
I don't think it was that high.
Which is.
I mean, but since MotoGP is kind of brand new to people are not that much into motorsports, people in India, it's a pretty good number for that.
I think.
Well,
See,
I think 120 is the full capacity.
I wasn't
Yeah.
even expecting these many people to show up because
No, but the thing is, like for Formula One, pretty much all the stands at least had people. I wouldn't say.
So
all
the first
stands
year was
were
100%
Yeah.
occupancy. Second year was 70%, and the third year was some 50 something.
Yeah, I mean, BIC is a track that has a lot of capacity for people, which is great in one way. But in the aerial shots, if you see the MotoGP, like the shots off the track where you can see the stands, empty stands are not a very good sign.
Exactly.
But I think a big reason for it is that there was so much uncertainty going into the weekend that, let's say I'm in Bangalore, I wouldn't book my tickets until I know the race is going to happen, right?
Yeah.
And imagine the FIA homologation only came through on Thursday.
right.
So yeah, I mean, I think
Tickets
next
were available
time,
on Saturday evening.
yeah, which is
That-
not a
that's-
good
that's-
sign.
Yeah, that's incredible. But at the end of the day, look, we're not being negative or anything. We're being realistic. At the end of the day, the fact that it went through,
It's great.
and the fact that India has had another international level motorsport event happening, is always a very, very, very good thing for Indian motorsport in general, including the motorsport body, etc.
For sure, and I think with a few changes and
a little more
slightly better-
promotion.
yeah, more promotion for sure. They will hopefully get there because the motorcycling craze is there in India.
Of course. The biggest
So
Are we the biggest?
biggest two-wheeler market in the.
Do you think like a name like Rossi not being? I mean, obviously now he's retired for years now. But do you think a name like him not being there also affected the number of people coming in?
I mean, a lot of people showed up just to, see if he's there or not. So I don't think so. Him not showing up was a disappointment per se, because there were a lot of other MotoGP riders
course.
which, made up for it.
Yeah.
But,
But
like,
yeah, him showing up would have been
Mad.
a big
Like I
mad
still
scene
remember
there.
Formula One, the crowd around Schumacher was even then, and that was last year, right? The crowd around him at any given second of him walking across the paddock was like 20 times larger than who's the biggest? Vettel, then Hamilton, then Alonso, Massa, any of them. It was incredible, like the amount of attention that he had around him.
Yeah, for sure.
just insane.
Even here, the maximum amount of merch that you saw anyone wear
Marquez?
was Rossi.
Oh, still,
Yeah.
Everyone had Rossi. Like the
Yeah,
most
I've noticed.
common merch across everyone
yeah.
was Rossi. Rossi
Yep.
caps, Rossi t-shirts.
Dude, there was a guy who literally looked like Rossi. I mean, he had the same earring, he had the same hairstyle, he was wearing the same merch. He looked like Rossi, dude. And I was like, wow.
There was a guy who came, who was also telecasted. He had put up like a signboard, kind of like a note
Chart
kind of a
paper
thing
thing.
saying Mark Marquez 93. Please come to Ducati. Gigi, we love you. Gigi is the Ducati team principal, and he's wearing a Rossi cap. So
Yeah.
he's talking about Marquez, Honda, Ducati,
wearing a
and he's
Yamaha.
wearing a Yamaha cap.
But I think that's the power of Rossi. I mean,
for
just
Yeah.
that
sure,
sense across
for
so many
sure.
generations. And
For sure. I think overall it was a very largely successful event. And
that's what it looked like. I
Yeah.
mean, even after all the issues, the fact that they
It
managed to
actually
sort of go
went
through.
pretty smooth. I mean, there were very minor hiccups and that's it.
But I think those hiccups are expected when it was so last minute. And if the next year one happens and they have a contract for it, so there's no reason why it shouldn't
Well,
happen. Yeah, if the
Well,
next
you
year
never
one
know.
happens, I'm sure they'll
is it
iron
just
out some
another
of
year
the
contract?
hiccups.
Just one
I think
more
it's
year?
some 6-year or 9-year contract.
Damn.
Is it that long?
Yeah,
I hope they
think
stick
so.
to it.
I hope they stick to it.
I
as
mean,
well.
see, there's massive potential for improvement, right? There's massive potential
sure.
for hotels to do well for that weekend. I mean, there were hotels
Yeah.
available on that weekend.
Yeah.
Not at very exorbitant rates.
And
That's incredible.
At Formula E, there were no hotels available in
Yep.
Hyderabad.
Yeah, Formula E was. Yeah, but Formula E was also in the middle of the city. It's a different.
That's true. Yeah.
It's a different thing because people want to see. I mean, it's nobody's seen a road race in India
Yeah, that's
as
true.
such. So a lot of people came with that sort of. That was. I mean, that had its own issues. To be honest,
Yeah, the mishap where the marshal opened the gate was
that was incredible.
that was that
It
was
came to a
unheard of.
point where we said, you know what, we're not even going to bother sitting in the stands anymore. We're just going to go to the media center and watch the race because it was just not. It was hot and it was just like. It was just crazy.
So good thing they're doing for MotoGP from this is they're moving it to October now, early October, which
that
means
makes no difference because it's going to be
Yeah.
as hot.
no, it's going to be much.
It's
better.
not going to be much better.
Really?
100%. 100%. It's going to be as hot, if not hotter.
Really?
Yeah.
Delhi is pretty good in October, man.
No, it's
Yeah,
not.
it is.
No,
It
it's
is.
not. I'll tell you what. 2000. I'll give you the exact date as well. 2013. Was it first? I think it was 1st October, or it was end of September, like 30th September, or something like that. I did my first Polo Cup round at the BIC. And it was some 40 something degrees outside.
Yeah, but like
God.
global
Temperature.
warming's happening. I mean, I don't think so. It should be the
And-
same right now.
So it's worse, no?
No, but
It fluctuates every year.
In 2017 October, I did my first actual competitive round of with Polo Cup participants. And it was 46 or 47 degrees air temperature, and the track temperature was some 60 degrees, and inside the car was some 58 degrees or something like that. It was so hot
that's crazy.
that before I started, I would tell the people who were with me, I would tell them literally go and get like some 7-8 bottles of 1 liter bottles of water, cold bottles of water. I would literally drench myself, drench my helmet. And it's like a 12-lap race or 10-lap race or something like that, right? And by the time we finished it, all the water was gone. Like it was dry. Well, not dry, but like
You know what?
percolated.
This kind of reminds me of the scene which happened there with Martin. He had a heat stroke while racing on the final race, like on
I've had a heat stroke
24th.
while racing.
he had a real bad heat stroke. He came back, apparently he puked or something.
Yeah,
and
100%. Yeah, I've had that happen at the BIC
Yeah,
twice.
Martin didn't even make it to the press con after.
Yeah.
He was
Sorry, who? You have to tell me who
Jorge
Martin is.
Martin.
the person who actually finished second.
Oh, okay.
And he's
in the
now-
main MotoGP
Yeah.
race.
And he's also now second in the championship.
Yep.
So
He was running second already, but now he's
yeah, but
doing
see,
much better.
Like, you having a heat stroke, not to offend you, is very different from like a top
Yeah,
level
top-
MotoGP
yeah,
athlete
exactly.
having a
Yeah,
heat
yeah,
stroke.
yeah, of course.
And then not being able to make a press
Yeah, that's
con.
insane.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So I read an article yesterday on motorsport.com which said this might now be the most challenging race for riders when it comes to
Yeah.
conditions and
Yeah. In fact, the laps
Even
were
worse than like
reduced.
Malaysia.
yeah. So Malaysia and Indonesia are contenders
course.
for the same.
Even the laps
But-
were reduced from 24 to 21.
Yeah.
Because all the riders said that, we cannot be racing in this heat.
And
How hot was it?
track temperature was 52,
Yeah.
Wow.
but the humidity was the problem.
It rained, didn't it? Like a day
Yeah,
before or
so
something.
it was raining throughout the weekend. So right after the race got over, the final
It
race
poured.
it started raining.
Yeah.
On Saturday it rained, and I think on Friday also it rained.
Yep. Friday it was raining the worst.
Yeah,
Have you ever driven at the BIC in the rains?
not in the rain, no.
I've ran a marathon in BIC, while it was pouring. Yeah.
Like run.
We,
A marathon.
We drove the 212 E63 facelift in the rains.
Oh wow!
How
Like
was
pouring,
it?
not very
Was it
nice.
sideways with a capital?
We just like came in after like 2 laps saying no, just like let's not do this. No point. It was tricky. It gets tricky.
puddles.
No, just generally it gets slippery and stuff.
Yeah, the riders were complaining about the paint being a little slippery
Yeah,
on
it
the
does.
curbs and all.
I don't think they would have raced if it was a wet race either, because of the.
Don't they have wet
already-
tires and all?
They do, but there was already some safety concerns that they were okay to look past. So I don't think they would have raced in the wet if it.
The
was.
turn one incident was quite
Oh, yeah.
funny.
So right after that, there's now been a conversation among drivers about turn one penalties. That these pileups, they've had these pileups in the last 3-4 races, or so I've found out. Because, like I said, this is my first MotoGP race, but they're going to get stricter with penalties for riders who cause turn one pileups because it's kind of unsafe, right? Like
It is. I mean, it
But
pushed...
it's also motorsport, yeah. I mean, there has to be this. See, Formula One gets like over ambitious when it comes to penalties sometimes, and then gets very.
No, actually, MotoGP is more stricter that way.
Is it?
Yeah. They're very particular about even if you touch that line, you're penalized for it.
yeah, track limits at Formula One are a joke.
No, but people get penalized all the time for track limits.
Yeah, but what is a track limit? It's not the white line in every race. It's not the white line in every corner. Sometimes it's the curb.
It depends
Sometimes
on
it's the white line.
No, it is the white line, by the way. It's always the white line. Track limit is always white line. With all 4 tires off the white line is when you're
Bro,
exceeding
some
track limits.
Austria last corner
But it
is
also
the curb.
depends on. It also depends on. It cannot be the curb. It has to be the white line before the curb. It also depends on if the corner is giving you an advantage in terms of time or not. If you're losing time going out of the track, then there's no point penalizing you in any case. Then you're just.
That's true.
And
That's
also you
sad.
get a black and white flag or like a warning. You get 2 warnings and then you get the penalty.
I don't know. I just feel Formula One track limits are a bit.
I think you should just let them race, yeah.
You've seen that video? There's this video of some American.
Yeah, of course. The
at-
NASCAR thing, right?
Yeah, at
On the
Circuit of the
wall.
Americas.
What is
No,
it
the
about?
guy on the wall?
No. That's different.
Okay.
So basically, at Circuit of the Americas, there's a corner where basically, if you go wide enough, you can carry like mad amount of speed, and there's no track limits in that series of racing. And this is all of them. They just leave the track completely off the track, and they take
Yeah, but
that turn
NASCAR is
and-
like a different
What are you
ball game
saying?
altogether.
NASCAR is like full on.
I really want to see a NASCAR race one day.
I think that's a good spectator sport.
It is
also, no?
a spectator sport. That's
I
all
need
it
to
is.
start
It is-
watching more cars.
I haven't
racing.
seen NASCAR.
I've never seen a NASCAR race
Same,
on TV.
same.
Oh, I've never seen like the Indy fan on TV.
But
It's not
imagine,
something that
like
interests me.
in MotoGP and Formula One, they go around a lap and you can only see like 2-3 corners at one time, and then they come back the other time and the orders change. In NASCAR, you can see pretty much the
The
entire
whole
track.
yeah.
Yeah, it's the
And-
one which goes
yeah,
in.
the
Oh,
oval.
okay,
So
got it.
they did a race in LA. Okay, they make like this race whatever in the LA I think stadium or something like that, some Los Angeles stadium. Short, like a really short track. Like a 800, 900 meter track.
Oh, damn,
1,000
that's
meter track or
really
something like that. I don't know the exact one, but like a really, really short track.
Yeah.
And at any point in the in the stadium, you can see the full race.
Oh.
Yeah, for sure.
And
It's tiny.
the racing was apparently insane. Like, it was like a huge hit. And it was in the middle, so there was no like travel issues. Because all the other speedways are
Far
usually
away.
slightly outside
But
the
what
city.
cars were they racing with?
NASCARs.
Damn.
How many motorsport experiences have you had as a spectator?
As a spectator, a lot of Indian motorsports, I would say, and that too motorcycle specifically. And this was my first international
How
motorcycle.
different was it?
It was actually, it's the same. It's just that we do not know so many people over here, and this feels more like a family function, and this feels more like you're a guest to somebody else's family function. Yeah, that's
And in
how I can
MotoGP,
compare
nobody
it.
like messes with bikes of the
Yeah.
competitors and stuff.
I think so. We were interviewing Mir, and they started opening the bike, like right behind us, and we were taking a selfie with him. And dude, the entire pit crew came and jumped on top of us. They're like, no photos, the bike has been opened up, and And here in Indian motorsports, you just go to their pits, sit with them, they're working, and they'll tell you what they're doing. And I'm like, okay, cool, we'll try this too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, the seriousness is there. We have it too. It's just that we need that support which international motorsport actually has. We do not have that much.
I think it's not support. I think it's more of what do you call it? Like a professionalism with international motorsport that
Yeah.
is sometimes absent
Yep,
in some levels of Indian motorsport.
that is true.
Also, like, I know of race series is happening right now where they will like give you a set of tires and then you have to like cut them to your like garage yourself on like a cart, or like you have to hold them and like,
But that's the same in MotoGP as well.
I mean,
They have
You
a
are supposed to carry them yourself.
yeah, in MotoGP also you'll see but of course their equipment is
yeah,
they
like
have
ये
equipment
चार
to
इधर से
carry.
slicks ले लो आप, ये भी आपका stick
Dude,
like
what we do is we come on a bike, we literally put all the tires all over us, and then we ride back with all the tires here. So it's
yeah, and
funny.
of course, it's a lot more controlled international motorsport in terms of
Yeah.
homologation,
sure.
in terms of park permit regulations, stuff like that. There are that. I mean, it's not like I'm not saying Indian motorsport is not strict in terms of park permit and scrutiny and stuff like that, but you can. Still,
I mean, I think so. They're still missing out on a lot of professionalism.
of course, yeah, that's the
A
word.
lot.
Professionalism.
Isn't
is-
that the case with national motorsports across the world? Like it will never match the level of a
So
MotoGP.
my
right?
thing is motorsport when it starts, when the race starts, when there's a competitive event going on, has to be strict in terms of following regulations like simple stuff like pit lane speed limit example, right?
Yeah. No, they are pretty strict about it. Trust me, I've been fined multiple
Yeah,
times
no,
for
but
it.
like I've seen like people being very lax about it, and I considering the fact that I come from a motorsport history, family history, it's sometimes it's just like yeah, like there are some things you do not mess with. Like timings, right? When it says the practice will start at this and then you like, oh, okay, don't worry, we will start in 20 minutes. That doesn't work. When international motorsport event, it will start at that minute. Like it
Yeah,
will.
well, that didn't happen this time.
Yeah,
I
there
mean,
was
unless there's weather conditions or something that changes it.
Yeah.
Like Formula One, it starts at a particular minute. It starts at a particular minute. If you're faffing somewhere, you're faffing somewhere. That's your problem.
Yeah,
You
that's
don't care.
true. The pit lane will be open for a minute, and if
Yeah.
you do not end up
Yeah,
on the
correct.
track, you're dead.
Same with the Porsche GT Cup or like Formula 3, Formula 2, all of that stuff. It's very, very strict. Here it's like, ठीक है, चलेगा. Yeah, and like there's some dude drinking beer on the side of the track.
Oh yeah.
It's there are scopes for improvement, but I just want to throw back to something else. Okay, we've been talking about international level event. India had an international level event in the 80s.
I saw Adil's story,
Yeah.
Insta story on it.
Huh,
But I
so
forgot what
Himalayan Rally
okay.
was an international world championship round.
Oh
one
yeah.
point of
Oh
time.
yeah. I read about it as well.
So my father actually participated in one class in
Oh, wow.
in '83. This is the 40th anniversary. I should have actually been at the Himalayan Drive this weekend or this week, and I couldn't be bothered.
Why didn't you ask me to
What
go?
are you
man?
doing?
No,
Cyrus?
it was
You
a
should
paid
have
thing. It
been
was
there.
not
Oh,
like,
okay.
Oh,
and
okay,
it's not
okay.
cheap anymore.
Okay.
I did the first year. I did like 2 years ago, the Nazar Hussain Memorial. This time I said, nah, it's just not.
But can you explain the audience a little more about the?
But the Himalayan was.
Yeah.
So the Himalayan, even if you ask veterans today, is still probably one of the most difficult motorsport events India has ever seen. and definitely one of the most like difficult global motorsport event of its era. 80s when it started, 80, 81. I don't know about 82. I can't remember about 82. 80 and 81, it started from Bombay. Cars went to Delhi. Then they like did their whole like 10-day whatever special stages around the Himalayas, and they ended, I believe, in Delhi. And then 83 or 82 or 83 onwards, it started in Delhi. I think it ended in 1990 or 89.
It's a Mumbai to Delhi was like a transport leg,
No.
or you
No, you have to ride.
It wasn't a transport, like there were like special stages even then.
This
what?
is like just a mountain version of Dakar types. Is it like that?
Yeah, sort of. So like the what was the Maruti one after that?
Raid the Himalaya.
Raid the Himalaya. That was like, imagine the Raid the Himalaya was like a watered down version of the Himalaya.
What route
Actually, it
was
wasn't
it?
watered down because it was still difficult, but
What route was it?
it depended on the year.
But was it the Leh region? Or-
Like a lot of the passes, and imagine passes in the 80s. So everything off road, everything, and listen, everything from Fiats to like Group B cars were doing this. Like we've had
Whoa.
Audi Quattros come to India.
What?
We've had Mitsubishi Starions come to India, Galants come to India,
Whoa.
Nissan 200 RS, Ford RS 200. We've had some major heat come to India and like race.
Quattros.
Yeah. Imagine.
Navneet probably has some pictures.
And Adil has a whole bunch of pictures from. We'll actually get Adil Darukhanawala on the podcast because I want to talk to about historical Indian motorsport. I probably need 2 or 3 episodes to cover it, but we'll get him on the podcast for sure. But I have old pictures. I have old handbooks. I have the original 1983 handbook from the Himalayan.
That has the routes and stuff as well.
Yeah. That had the whole that's the route book. Sorry, not the handbook. In 82, I believe my dad transported all the. So 82 it started from Delhi. 82, I think he transported all the route books from Bombay to Delhi in his Fiat. Because they hadn't left or they sort of got delayed printing or something like that. And they had to be transported. So instead of couriering them, they said, okay, we'll put it in a car and we'll drive them down.
Wait, so your dad was part of the organization?
Yeah, before. And then 83 he participated.
Okay.
And then 84 onwards, he was a part of the organizing team again and he was scrutineer and stuff like that.
Oh, nice. That's pretty cool.
And then like in the late 80s, mid to late 80s, he also did like other regional events and stuff like that. So there was an association called MASA, which was Maharashtra Auto Sport Association, something like that.
Was it by Felipe?
And MASA. And then there was NASA, which was Nasik Auto Sport. And imagine Nasik had its own motorsport association.
Whoa.
And it was an active association. There was stuff happening there.
And it was called NASA.
It was very cool. I might still have old stickers, like a triangular sticker with like a route in it. Very cool. Like old.
Wow.
Even the old Himalayan logo is so cool.
I haven't seen it.
I'll show it to you later.
There was a lot more regional motorsports back then, no?
Yeah, of course. And then there was and see, these are all national rounds also. So like there was K1000, which is still, I believe, going on.
Yeah, at least a
Which
few
was
years back.
treacherous. And then there was just literally where we shoot the Lavasa route. There's a route that you can do from Lavasa that comes out at MB, like that.
Yeah.
No, I don't
There's a route that sort of goes all the way around the Pauna region. That event, I believe, is one of the only events where 100% of the participants broke down.
What?
Yeah, like every single participating car broke down.
I think so. They've stopped that. Like
No.
long,
That
long
was like that happened once in like the late 80s or something.
Yeah, I
That rally.
think so. I heard about it somewhere.
Yeah,
But
and that's like that was mad. Like
The route was that tough
yeah,
or
route was that treacherous.
100%?
Then
But
then
what was the problem exactly?
mid 80s Maharashtra roads?
Yeah, considering
No, like
today's...
really hardcore, like bad roads, like ruts and stuff like that. Then the route that goes up to Mahabaleshwar, but not from the Y side, from the other side. That was a rally stage. The route that goes up to MB was a special stage.
Oh.
They used to run hill climbs and stuff there. They used to run rallies.
But
there.
it was tarmac or...
It was single lane. It was single lane tarmac till like not too long ago, by the way.
Ah.
I remember as a kid going up that route in the Fiat with dad, where it was like a single lane road. Dude, this road outside our office, the bypass,
Yeah.
was a single lane road till like the late 90s.
Oh.
Okay, because we used to take this bypass because my house is on the other side of Pune, right?
Yeah.
So instead of going through the city, because that was the only option back then. We used to take this rural road, and the only thing that was there was this stadium, the Balewari Stadium.
Oh.
Actually, the smaller Balewari Stadium. This bigger stadium came later. The Asian Games Stadium. And, the pre-Asian Games Stadium. And it was like a single lane route, like with greenery on both sides.
Wow.
This
This highway, the highway.
We stay there right now.
The highway was nothing. Dude, Bane didn't exist in like the late 90s. What are you talking about? Like, nothing was there. There was nothing.
So this was the
This was all
bypass.
like, this this
now
was
it's like-
this was like the rural road that people took. Who knew?
Talking about old routes, has any of you seen the old MMRT layout and how
Yeah.
bad it used to be?
No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Oh damn, it looked crap. It looked crap, dude.
MMRT
How
was
young was I when
supposedly
I
And the
MMRT was
pits,
the first.
there were no pits, by the way. Abhi, if you go
how,
there,
how long back are you talking about?
I think so back in 80s.
Oh, that long ago. Okay, so
Yeah.
when they had the smaller stands and all. Okay.
Yeah, but the tire was always there.
Yeah.
The MRF
So
tire
I
was
went to
always there.
MMRT, I think, in the mid 90s for the first time.
Did they have pits back then?
I don't remember. I was too young.
Dude, they had I say iron sheds.
But the sheds
That's
were
it.
there till not too long ago.
Yeah, they still have the sheds.
Then it became
Paddock
but
area mein.
I'll tell you what, MMRT after the
Yeah.
doing of the pit lane and stuff, and the new building that they've put up, the VW building or whatever it's
The
called,
towers and all.
is actually it's quite a cool.
It's pretty good. I love
setup
MMRT.
now.
I love
really
the
like it.
layout as well. Like
really
you don't
good.
need to have a very fast
Yeah,
car
it's
or
a
very fast
handling
bike.
layout. It's a
Yeah.
handling layout for sure.
It's damn
Which is
good.
why you get like these really insane lap times from like these small light cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've even made friends with all the snakes around there.
Snakes,
Crossing the track.
snakes, pigs.
That's the
Pigs,
scary-
yeah,
cows.
legit pigs, dude.
Pigs with
okay, cows are
piglings.
not there anymore, please.
Acha. But
They're
I
not there
remember
anymore.
that guy who used to tend the track used to have cows and pigs. And
Yeah.
you get what do you get? Not hyenas, no? What do you get there? Foxes or something, no?
No,
I have
I've never
no
seen
clue.
one.
Because this fellow has a gun. What's his
Who?
name?
Yeah, let's not mention his name. Is it Lee?
I've seen a snake on the track once
yeah,
and I
Snakes,
just ran.
so many,
I've
many.
I
seen
ran
so
away,
many snakes.
You ran
I
over it
know.
or you ran away?
I was in
I've
a,
seen
I was about
rats
to
now.
get into a car and someone said snake. I just got in the car and I shut the door, dude. I am
That's actually worse
terrified
because they
of-
can get into the car.
No, they can't.
They can.
They can,
No, they can't.
because
They can.
I can
those
see
cars
the smirk
are.
on Cyrus's face
No,
and
no,
I
no,
know
they
they
can.
can't.
Through
Dude,
the
those
dashboard.
racing cars have a lot of holes, na?
It
Yeah.
was a normal, regular road car.
Yeah, but they have, dude, like where your steering column goes through. Where do you think rats get in from?
Yeah, did you not see Ayan's car?
Ouch. It's fixed now, supposedly.
Is it?
Where was an office yesterday?
How would we know?
Just there's a backstory to this. Somebody in our office had a car and they found like a rat colony in the boot.
Yeah,
Literal
colony
colony.
being a slight underplay, under exaggeration of the term.
Not over
So
exaggeration.
there was also a guy's riding jacket in the boot.
Yeah.
And he shrugged off, like took out the riding jacket and
Babies
I would have
fell,
burnt it.
dude.
I don't want to say that.
I would have
but
burnt-
I would have burnt it, moved
have burnt the car.
countries.
I
I
would
would
have
have
burnt
changed
my car.
countries and got a new passport. And
I'm deathly scared of rats.
I'm
They were just
disgusted.
babies. They were
I'm
like literally this
disgusted by
tiny.
rats. I'm
like-
disgusted
I had a
by
squirrel come
snakes.
into my house last week.
Yeah, but squirrels are cute. Come on.
Chill,
No,
bro.
but they look like rats, no, but and you can't even
Okay.
kill them because they're cute looking. That's the problem. Rats at least you
They are
can kill.
cute.
Okay, I think we're digressing.
yeah, we're
Everybody behind the camera is also laughing about it. Let's get back to motorsport. Any of you been to the Formula One races?
I went for the first ever Formula One race when I was super small.
No, you're in the BIC one.
Yeah, BSc one only. It was
Super young.
I was super young. It was too good, dude.
It was
I was
lovely.
in now my favorite part of the track, the 5, 6, 7 complex.
Yeah.
I was in that stand only.
Oh, damn.
And I have a picture of me like wearing like a Ferrari flag. And
Oh,
I was,
so you're a
there.
Ferrari
It
fan?
was- just think everyone is a Ferrari fan. At least when they're small and they're not aware of how good Max Verstappen is, I think everyone is a Ferrari fan.
I'll
But it
never
was-
not be a Ferrari fan. And for me, it'll
Same.
always be team over driver. It doesn't matter who the driver is. It'll always be team first.
See, Ferrari is like Red Bull is not an emotion. Like I think Ferrari is an emotion that you feel.
Red Bull can be an emotion after 7 Red Bulls. Acha, so first Formula One race I actually missed. I wasn't in the country at the time. Second and third I did as a journalist, which was very cool. And I mean, there, I don't know, you guys had like real access, like
Yeah, we did.
like everywhere, right? Like you were like,
It was
I saw
so
people
good.
like faffing around and like chilling and
Dude, we
like
had
on like they were like on the back of scooters and
Yeah.
like so in the Tata Aces.
Dude, it was insane.
Formula One is the exact opposite of all of this. Formula One, the day, the moment Friday starts, right?
Yeah.
Formula One, the track control gets handed over to the FIA team.
Huh.
Nobody from the Indian team has any real control over anything that happens. That's what happens for Formula E as well, sort of. But those guys are strict, like strict, and the access passes are so well demarcated. Like if you have access to a certain amount, that's it. That's all you have access to, nothing else. Like you guys like parked in the paddock behind the grandstand and stuff like that, right? Not behind the grandstand, behind the pit buildings.
No,
Yeah. We
Right?
didn't park there, but we got dropped off there.
Yeah.
Like our parking was like press parking, which was the closest parking.
Sirish was telling me
Was like
outside the
at-
gate or
yeah,
something.
Yeah, was not outside the gate, but near the admin building and stuff like that.
Where the TV vans and all used to stand as well.
Yeah,
Had to stand.
So, like Formula One is very very strict. MotoGP has always been a little more laid back. Even with like paddock access to like people and stuff like that, there's always
So I was speaking to Ankit from Man-Made Machines, and he was saying this is the only MotoGP round, or I think this level of event, where so many people have paddock and service road access. Otherwise, it's super limited. Otherwise, you would see it. I don't I appreciate that we got it, and it was obviously crazy to watch the race from right there. But if someone's not quite fully here, like fully all right here, they could literally just jump the barrier and go to the track. They should.
There were a few crazy people. Like, you remember that guy who was holding onto that chart saying, Ciao Ducati,
Yeah.
today's my birthday, give me a pit pass. So somehow, he only had the paddock access. I saw his ID, but somehow he ended up in the service lane, okay?
Yeah.
And I think so, some
Yeah,
racer
that
had a
would
crash
never
and
happen in
he
Formula One.
was being pushed back towards the paddock area, towards his pits. And dude, this guy he ran behind him. He kissed his bike and then like had a dramatic fall on the track. And then he's like praying that he finally got to kiss a MotoGP bike.
Yeah, so from
You
So
can't
all
do
of
that
this would
stuff,
not like you would
dude.
get arrested for doing all
Yeah.
of that.
From Thursday through Saturday, it was very lenient. Sunday
Was a little more stricter.
and during qualifying on Saturday, it was stricter.
Yeah.
Where there was like a Donna guy who was Donna is the body that
Yeah.
organizes. Yeah. That guy was like roaming around in Innovas and checking everyone's passes who was in the service lane. And supposedly there was a journalist there. I don't know the name. And he had the green pass, which is only paddock access, not service road access. And the Donna guy told him to leave. So he pretended to leave, and the Donna guy went away, obviously. And then he came back. The Donna guy just came back, took his pass, and went. So he was just not
So
allowed
he
to go.
did not have
Yeah.
access anywhere after.
No, but Formula One is very 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 strict because they have scanners everywhere.
So it was the same here, but I don't think the scanners are very well calibrated as to what areas you have access to. Like for example, the blue pass that I had somehow had access to the MotoGP VIP village, which it shouldn't have, right?
No, it did actually.
No, but I'm not allowed to enter any lounges. So why do I have access to that area in the first place?
So I think that's
There's a
I think
separate
that's something
pass
that needs
for
to be-
the MotoGP VIP village. There's a separate
Right.
they have that VIP pass.
Yeah.
But if you
And I
scan
saw like people with like 6 passes on them and
Yeah.
Oh,
walking
yeah.
around.
Oh,
So-
they got screwed. Those people got
so
screwed.
that was also because of a little confusion in the passes. So again, Ankit, he's a photographer and he was doing photography for Vinales, and he didn't have a pass on the first day. He didn't have his own pass only. He had some other guy's pass that he had to use because the Dorna guys didn't get him a pass in time.
So I think there's definitely a little bit scope for improvement.
But I feel little bit only.
Huh.
Some improvements on the track side, some improvements on organization, and some improvements on the promotion side, and we have a
World-class
event
Exactly.
ready to go.
Because we have a world-class facility, right? I mean,
The drivers were
Yeah,
actually
they were impressed by the facilities.
the
over there.
riders, were impressed by so there's no motorhomes that come into BIC because they
You
have
don't
the
need
team buildings and all.
buildings.
And the buildings, as we know, have not been maintained since 2013 was the last.
few buildings haven't.
Yeah, but they were all super impressed with the facilities.
But
they
that
had.
means they've done some work and like
They did a
brought it
lot
back
of
to
work,
scratch.
dude. It was
That's
like
good.
very
That's good.
clean.
I'm glad. Because we use the BIC a lot for like
Yeah.
stuff, right?
But
like drivers.
whenever we
Actually, I haven't
use
been
it-
to the BIC for a while now.
Whenever we use it,
I'm
it's
going for
only
track day
half
next month.
the pits or less than half the pits that are open. So
Do you want to come for launch control?
Yeah, of course I want to come for long.
It's not free.
What are you driving? I'll get the Jimny and come.
No, you can't drive Jimny and stuff.
What? You're taking the SL?
No.
Then?
We'll figure out.
This Cyrus's smirk always means there's like 7 ideas behind
Borrow
that
the
smirk.
M2 or something probably. Let's see. Or something. There's something interesting in Delhi. I'm not driving from here to... Are you nuts? Not driving from here to
I'll
Delhi.
We never know you.
I'll drive, I'll see you
I
there.
don't like
You can
driving
do
long
anything.
distances anymore.
I love driving.
I hate driving long distances. I hate it. See, we do this for a living, right? We drive
Yeah.
distances for a living. So doing this for a holiday, like, just doesn't do it for me anymore.
What are you
And also-
saying? For me,
also-
it's just so good. Like when I'm riding on a weekend, there are no cameras around me. I can actually ride and just peacefully enjoy my ride, and I don't have to
No,
worry
I don't.
about giving up, a flyby.
I would rather do. I would rather drive my own cars on the weekend than like go out on a road trip. Because at least then I can keep my cars running.
Oh, by the way, my RX is coming. It's probably coming tomorrow evening.
I have an RX that I haven't started in like 3 years or something.
But this one hasn't been started for a really long time.
Is the SL
I'll be
starting?
working on it.
Yeah, it's just starting. As of now, it is. You never know. Maybe tomorrow it might not. That's a separate conversation to have on a separate podcast. Okay, I think that sort of wraps up
Yeah.
what we thought about MotoGP.
Just one more question. Do you think an international motorsport event can happen on MMRT?
No,
No.
not a grade 1 event. It's not a grade 1 track.
Yeah.
So, like, what part of
It's a
it do you
grade 2
think
track.
should be changed?
No, it can't. It'll never be a
Everything.
grade 1 track.
Never.
It needs
There's
to be completely...
100 different regulations
Yeah.
that.
Right.
I mean, forget the track. The facilities don't
Match up,
don't match. It's a grade 2 track. I believe WSBK runs on grade 2 tracks sometimes, and a grade B or whatever it is called, which is not a negative thing, by the way. A grade
Yeah.
2 circuit is still a great circuit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think they can have like there's a whole bunch of like car stuff they can do. But again, there's no real viewership for that stuff in India. So what is the point of bringing it and doing it here?
Yeah.
That's true.
And also, to be very honest, MMRT does a lot of Indian motorsport.
Yes, it does.
So like they do the touring car
IMRC
championship,
happens.
they do the junior touring car stock, super
They do
stock
everything,
or whatever.
dude.
yeah.
They
even,
do
even
half
at,
the
Kanye.
rally runs through MMRT as well. Like
Yeah,
the
they do
tarmac
special
stage of the-
stages and stuff like that. On That's very cool. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Even the
super
drag
cool.
races, everything happen over there.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a full-fledged 400-meter strip though.
No, now it is.
It is.
So they
With the
have
extensions,
Extra
yeah, they
patch.
have extensions on
Yeah.
both
the
sides.
extension. So,
Yeah,
but is
yeah.
there enough space to slow down
Yeah. There's a
Yeah,
lot of runoff
barely,
area
but
afterwards.
for like
If you're going like really fast, I don't think there's enough.
for like a
Maybe
10,
there
11,
is, there is.
for like
Ah,
a 10,
okay.
11 second car as well?
For a car, I don't know. For bikes, it is enough.
But what
Like,
bikes
what
are
sort of
there?
bikes?
They have Hayabusas and all. Like those.
You're
For
talking about 9
sports car, no,
second-
I'm talking about the INMRC wala
no,
specific
no.
drag races which
Ah.
happen.
So that's up to some CC, no?
Yeah, no. So you're not talking
you
about
have
like
to
S1000
stock as
RRs
well.
doing 9-second quarter miles and stuff.
Yeah, well, that is, I don't know, that strip
We
is
need to
enough
be.
for a run.
I wish we had like a proper like home for Indian drag racing. Yeah.
We do, and it's called Signal to Signal.
Ha.
Dropping soon
Welcome
on
to
PowerDrift,
Signal to Signal.
Yeah, we're going to do a new season of S2S very
where
very
I
soon.
beat Cyrus in every race that we take part in.
Really. Do you?
That's
Do you?
motorsport, man. That's
Do you? We'll see. Huh? We'll see. So, okay. I think that sort of wraps it up. Always great to see international motorsport events happening in India. We wish there's more stuff that happen.
Formula One. Please come back.
Yeah, I mean, unlikely, but there is... Okay, I can say this and only this much. I believe there are conversations that have not just started, but progressed to a point where the possibility of Formula One coming back to India is a possibility.
That's very big. That's very big. Look
That's
at
all I
him.
can-
Look at him.
There's a lot of like...
Yeah, well,
people-
that's the same reaction I had when MotoGP was
There's a lot of
coming to
people.
India.
There are a lot of people pushing for it. This season obviously has been extremely boring for most. Actually, not been boring because apart from like Max Verstappen winning everything,
He almost said
Second-
Schumacher then, and I would put them in the same league as well.
second, no, not yet. Second place onwards has been a very open season.
Yeah.
So it's actually been a very interesting season apart from the winner.
Because Perez is quite I think
Yeah.
that's enough for this podcast.
I mean, they're
Thank you
Formula One
for
drivers at the end of the day. so they're
watching,
gladiators.
listening, and of course you can get this podcast on. This is the first time I'm doing it. You can get this podcast on any of the podcast apps like Apple Podcasts, Spotify,
Google
YouTube,
Podcasts, yeah,
Google
YouTube.
Podcasts.
YouTube, you can
and-
see us speak also. So
Yep.
And you can see Cyrus's Ferrari on
Ferrari?
his shirt. Ferrari.
What is
on
it?
his shirt.
Ferrari?
All right. Thank you for watching.
Okay. See you guys.
Bye bye.